Hello, and welcome back to yet another Tales from my Backlog. This time voted by you. So, if I happen to have one of my hot movie takes, this one's on you fuckers. You voted for this. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, last month in June, I put up a poll asking you to vote on four movies to replace one that I had originally planned to do for a Tales from my Backlog. The reason why I scrapped it is because the more I thought about it, the more I was probably going to switch it off, just like I did with Good Morning Vietnam early on, which then, of course, got replaced with Starship Troopers. So, I decided instead of me picking it this time, I would choose four movies from my collection and have you guys pick. And the vast majority of the votes, 63%, the last time I looked, of the votes was for The Godfather. So, again, if I have one of my hot movie takes, it's on your guys' head, not mine. You can't blame me this fucking time. Anyway, The Godfather. Did I have my hot movie take? No. I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I still have the poster up that I found in my DVD copy. I did not know when I bought my DVD copy that it came with that poster. Uh, but it's now up on the wall. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It grossed me in for it kept me engaged for the 3 hours that I was watching it, and fuck me, is it good? It's definitely not in my, I would say, in my top 10 like it would be for a lot of people, or even my top 20 for that matter. But I still enjoyed it a hell of a lot. It brought me into the world of the Corleone family and seeing all the shit essentially unfold because of the power that the Corleone family has, um, and seeing where it left off uh, for the sequel, The Godfather Part Two, which I don't own in my collection yet, but when I do, I'll obviously do another. I'll do a review for that whenever I get into my collection. Um. Anyway, yeah. So, what is The Godfather about? For those who haven't seen it, well, as I said, it's all about the Corleone family and their big, massive influence on 40s New York, where they have politicians in their working for them, as well as judges, the newspaper, the local police force, all of them they have for themselves, and they're keeping it to themselves, and they're not really allowing other Italian family members or families in New York have access to that. And it's also the start of introducing drugs into their midst, because before they decided, other families decided to do that, they were mainly focusing on casinos and other stuff, stuff that they can easily pay off the local police force. And when an offer is brought to Don Corleone, for him to join into this business, you know throw a million into this, gets 3 to 5 mil back, and the Don is against that. He doesn't want the to add drugs to the list of things that they do, and that sets off again chain of events where they attempt to take the Don's life. They shoot him in the back several times, and he ends up in hospital. They thought he was dead, but he's actually still alive. And then Michael, who is one of the many sons, who in the beginning of the movie we see him with his partner, and he doesn't seem interested in the family business. And it's even brought up later on in the movie that, he was never interested in the family business. That's why he went to college. He fought in the war. He became a war hero. And it's through his father's assassination attempt that brings him into the family business. And it's a very interesting character arc seeing him go from not wanting anything to do with the family business to essentially becoming the Don of the new Don of the Corleone family at the end of the movie. And so he takes over. Not necessarily takes. He doesn't fully take over the family business. It's still run by a lot of the brothers and that. And but when he goes to visit his dad in hospital, there's no guards to look after him, and he gets a little spooked. So he calls up his brothers to get bodyguards here because they've all been the ones that are there have been sent home because yet another attempt on the Don's life is about to go down, and at that point, the baker who made the wedding cake for the Don's daughter's wedding, which takes place at the beginning of this movie, comes to pay his respect, to visit the Don in the hospital. And so Michael and this baker, they wait outside. We see a car pull up with people in it that look like they were going to come out and go to be the people that were going to take out the Don's life. They drive off, and then some shady policemen come up. That should be under the Corleone side, but is actually being paid off by a different family, and they go to attempt to arrest Michael. But at that point, the rest of the family comes. He gets freed. He gets pissed because he gets punched by the head police officer, and so they one of the family members decide to arrange a meeting with Michael to explain everything, to smooth everything over. And it's actually, I believe it's the family that attempt is the one that's behind the attempt on the Don's life. So Michael decides, fuck that, I want revenge. I'm going to kill both of these fools. And so they find out where they're going for this meeting in this restaurant, and just before they arrived he had a gun planted in one of the old school toilets with where you actually had to pull on a chain to flush. And so they talk. He goes into the bathroom, he takes the gun. He pops one into the family member, and he pops two into uh, the police officer. He drops the gun and he flees the scene. And because of that, because he took action on them, which has started, kind of a little bit of a war going on, Michael is forced to go to Sicily. And so, whilst all that's happening, they're still at war. The Don has been released from hospital, he's brought home, and the the daughter of the Don who got married in the beginning of the movie, her husband has been beating her. And so after a particular bad beating, she calls one of her brothers and he goes to race there, and unfortunately he doesn't make it because he is gunned down drastically. And so when the Don finds out about this, he gets all the families together to sort this out, to put the bad blood behind them, and they do. And then of course they go into the drug business and all that. And because of that, Michael gets to come home after the wife he had in Sicily is murdered in a car bomb. And so he gets to come back, and he's slowly taken over. The Don steps down, goes into retirement, and gives it to Michael. And then whilst the Don is playing with Michael's son, his grandson, he takes a heart attack and dies. And so then what Michael does is he sets out to murder all the heads of the family, of all the other families, as the christening is happening for his sister's son, where he becomes the godfather to that son, and then he takes out the husband of his sister who beats him, and then the movie ends. So, yeah, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 stars on my Letterbox account, which is a cheeky plug to go follow that. It's in the description. And yeah, I gave it a 4 stars because that's what I felt it deserves. To me, it's not a 5-star movie. Whilst I did enjoy it, a lot. My issue, and it's just my issue, is not really learning other characters' names and faces. That's just because I'm bad with names and faces. So that's on me. That's not on The Godfather. For a movie that came out 50 years ago, 51 years ago, it still holds up. It's still one of the greatest movies. Al Pacino is fucking amazing in this movie. As my first Pacino movie, he's absolutely amazing. As well as the actor who plays Don Corleone. Um, he was stupendous in this movie. Absolutely stupendous. So I'm really looking forward to giving The Godfather Part 2 a shot. Not so much sure about Part 3 because Part 3 is what I've heard is considered the worst in the trilogy of the Godfather movies. But it definitely is a fantastic movie, and I can see why a lot of people love this movie. I even love this movie. As I said, it's not in my top 10 or top 20, probably in my top 30 for sure. But I can see why it has the cult like following that it does behind these movies. And I'm happy now that I can at least keep that poster up there and not have to take it down because I have one of my hot movie takes. But that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments below, and let me know what you thought of this review as well. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you on the next review, which is going to be of Star Trek 2009. We're getting closer to the end of the Star Trek reviews for now, and I look forward to it because I genuinely love the Kelvin movies. But anyway, that's enough for me, and I'll see you all on the next upload.